Was listening to Calm as a Wolf and Ghostin'. You're still rapping like you have no deal, right? So the question I have for you is, how have you maintained the hunger in your craft after you have experienced so much success?
I maintain the hunger in my craft by knowing it's a craft. If you have a craft, you should stay working at it, work to get better. Also, the knowledge of when people get too cocky and in their crafts, they seem to lose love for it and they get a little big headed. The craft is bigger than me. There's been many to do it before me, or there'll be many to do it after me. So, um, to be lucky enough to be in it and be considered someone good, great at it, you I just stick to it. I just stick to it and just appreciate being in the game. To be honest with you,
Earlier on, right, when things started really to go good for you, did you experience a little vibe where you felt yourself a little bit?
I always feel myself. I mean, I do always feel myself. I just know to it's a saying: stay humbled or get humbled. So plus the plus the craft the craft means a lot more to me than my personal feelings. Like when something gets you to the point where you wanted to be in life, you can't forget the thing that got you there and get too big headed. So for me, I feel myself, but I stay in a point of just being attitude of gratitude, so to say.
According to Styles P, what makes a good lyricist?
A man who cares about the words, a man who studied the craft, a man who cares about the craft and putting it in a way where people find it interesting. A man who has in mind of delivering words in a way that people could appreciate, understand, or later on have to find out what you said, like, or make it click. I think what makes it, because anybody could rap, literally, anybody could rap. All you rapping is rhyming words. Rapping is hat, cat, bat, fat, sat, yada yada yada. That's rapping. If you could do that in a rhythmatic way, you don't have to make sense, but you rapped. But to be a lyricist, to be able to put words in certain formations and deliver them over music and have people touch either their brain, their spirit, or their heart, even their feet to get them moving, it's totally different. And you're a wordsmith. You're a master of words. Words are man's most powerful weapons, more than anything. A lot of people, I believe, a lot of people look at, think about it, nukes, viruses, guns, none of that goes off without somebody giving the word, hitting a button, talking to other people, saying what's happening, who they're going to control, why they're going to control them, what's going to happen. So words kind of start everything. Everything starts with words. So words are man's most, woman's too powerful weapon. So I think lyricists keep that in mind and have a way of using them.
You remember one of the greatest and longest performing groups in hip hop history, right? How have you been able to manage egos and keep the group together and still get money individually and collectively after almost 3 decades of working together?
Well, the craft is bigger than all of us. The group name is bigger than all of us, and the brotherhood comes before the game. So that's how we manage to keep things intact. Remain to be ourselves, not let the ego and pride get in the way. Speak your mind, get it off your chest, um, keep it pushing.
I saw in an interview previously you mentioned you being happy for others' success.
Yeah.
And that seems to be like a missing thing in a lot of personal relationships and even marriages, right? You personally, where did you learn? Because it's a skill people don't have. Where did you learn to actually be happy for another person's success?
I think that's just being spiritually in tune and spiritually open and not, I mean, you will never, me personally, I mean, I can't say anybody else, but most of us, mostly everyone you know, will never be the richest or poorest person. So with that being said, you shouldn't measure how you treat people on what you have and what they have. You should measure it on wanting the best for everyone. And it's only sensible in all actuality to wish the best for others, wish success for others, because if you're mindful of energy and what energy is and what energy is about, then you know that energy should reciprocate. So you wouldn't want someone else wishing bad on you or wishing for less than you. So it's easier to just wish the best and wish success for everyone and put you in a great. I don't think nobody in heaven is praying on somebody else's downfall. You know what I mean? In layman's terms, to be simple, and if you're not measuring your living standards against someone else's, it's easier to wish other people success and just be comfortable with wanting to see everybody do good. Like even your enemies, you pray. It's no different from the term. No one invented. I don't know how long the term "pray for your enemies" been around, but it's been around for a long time. And if you think about it, on that note, like, all the religions teach you to be forgiving, to accept people, to be open-minded, open-hearted. So it becomes difficult to apply to day-to-day life because you're in a rat race. But once you see beyond a race and you get to a point of understanding you're on a journey, and your journey is not the next man's journey, his journey is not yours, why not wish him success or her success?
Straight. And you mentioned another part that's very important in regards to sustaining relationships, in regards to the conversation piece.
Yeah.
How did you guys deflect other voices coming in and just consistently having those hard conversations to keep the group together?
Well, you ignore the other voices. If you say you're going to do something from the jump, you stick to what you say you're going to do. And we made an oath. We just stuck to the oath. We said we won't let them voices and the money and all of that come between us. And close to 30 years later, you can see that we didn't. It's people make it like it's difficult or like we. What's funny is we're doing the normal thing to do that you do with brothers and human beings. We lived in such a fucked up society that it stands out a lot because people are used to seeing people break up over money and what other people say and how they whisper in people's ear and poison conversations, poison people's thoughts. It's easier to seem stand-up-ish when you facing all of that. But it's really the normal brotherly thing to do, to be honest with you. It's nothing, only thing special about it is that there's not a lot of people doing it. Other than that, it's not really special. It's not really, that should be the norm. That actually really should be the norm. Like most groups, most artists, I would say 70 to 80%, especially if they're people of color, came in the game poor, especially if they're from our time period. So understanding that most people struggle or somewhat similar, that shouldn't really be a product of our environment, but it is.